My name is Jussi Parikka. I'm a professor at Winchester School of Art, and I'm here to welcome you and open this discussion. Oh, we got light. Between Ryan Bishop and Jordan Crandall. So I'm acting on behalf of Christopher, who's of course very busy. Transmediale has again set together a fantastic program of events, talks, performances, and of course art. We already last year, Winchester School of Art, as part of our collaboration and partnership with Transmediale, we already last year had a similar kind of event, and we decided to continue this. Last year, Ryan Bishop was in conversation with Trevor Backlund. Perhaps some of you saw it. Similar format, late evening conversation between a theorist and an art practitioner. And today, this night, we are continuing with Ryan in conversation with Jordan Crandall. I'm going to hand it over to Ryan very soon, but just a couple of words. Ryan Bishop is my colleague from Winchester School of Art, professor of global arts and politics. He's an expert in a wide variety of topics on urbanism, military technology, aesthetics, and of course politics. He's published widely on those topics, as well as American comedy, actually. Besides publications, he's also an editor. He co-edits the journal Cultural Politics, and also a new book series, Technicities, with other colleagues from Winchester School of Art. So in order to introduce Jordan, I'm going to hand it over to Ryan first, who's going to tell a bit more about this evening. But everybody welcome.
Thank you, Jussi. I'll continue your very cool sitting on the edge of the stage demeanor. Thank you all for coming tonight. We're having a conversation / performance with Jordan Crandall, and it's my great honor and pleasure to be involved with this event. Jordan is an old friend and colleague, part of a research consortium linking Winchester School of Art, University of California, San Diego, Visual Arts, and the Parsons School of Design. I'm not going to talk much right now, so you'll be relieved to hear that. The structure for this evening is Jordan is going to introduce the performance. Then he's going to give us an abbreviated version of his solo performance piece called Unmanned. When that's over, Jordan and I will have a quick conversation, and then we'll include all of you in a larger conversation. So, without much further ado, I'm going to introduce Jordan Crandall. Jordan is a professor in the Department of Visual Arts at University of California, San Diego. He is head of department right now, and I think he gets to step down from that position pretty soon. He's a theorist, he's an artist, he works in a wide array of media, and this is one of his first, I guess this is his first full-on performance piece. Other works that he's had included performative elements, particularly within moving image installations. But this is a proper performance, and I'll just go ahead and throw things over to Jordan, and we'll get underway.
Jussi, am I wired?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's okay. Yeah. I'm very, very happy to be here and to be working with Jussi and Ryan on the consortium that we've just formed, and very happy to be back here at Transmediale, and also really good to see some friends and colleagues in the audience tonight. And so, also, I feel a little bit anxious about this work, performing it for you, because it's a very quirky kind of piece, and and it's as you'll see, it's a risky work to do, because it's a sort of way to find a way into a body of research in a way that makes one very vulnerable. And Ryan, I think, will probably talk a little bit about that in the conversation afterwards. But I feel it in this work, and it's a strange thing and unsettling and all that, but I think it's generative and actually rather a good thing, because a lot of the work deals with faultiness and with failure and sense of inadequacy. These characters are all men who are struggling with a sense of their own self-worth, and their place in a world that's increasingly defined by automated systems and distributed intelligence that, in certain kind of ways, doesn't necessarily have an apparent place for them. So as I started to develop this work, I really started to see what these characters kind of like wanted, where they were trying to attempt to do, and finding a way in to be relevant was a really powerful thing, which I didn't anticipate. So anyway, I don't want to say too much about it, but I do want to say there are 7-8 characters in the full work of Unmanned, and I developed these characters by conducting research into people actually who hold similar positions as these men do, but they're not actual historical characters, they're composites. So I've taken a lot of artistic leeway with them, and so there's a reality to them, hopefully, that comes across. And so it's a hybrid piece. On the one hand, there's an ethnographic dimension to it, but it's not ethnography. And it's philosophy, and it's a critical theory, and the full work has video and images with it, and has a more elaborate production. But the whole thing is actually really very low tech, all told, and it's what I'm going to show you tonight is actually very low tech. So it's an odd thing to be presented at the transmediale. So I hope you will not be disappointed that there's not a lot of tech here tonight. And so I'm going to be doing a few scenes of a few of these characters, and I think we'll go as long as we can and we have time for. And so what else? Okay, so about this work, without going on too much longer, I know I've said this already, but this actually, body work was occasioned by an actual crash at the border between the US and Mexico. And so it was really interesting because the crash that actually happened was a very interesting thing because people didn't necessarily know who was operating the drone that crashed. And it actually did set into motion a whole series of really interesting kinds of considerations. And it kind of brought into play many different types of actors involved in this incident, and disrupted lives and brought people together in an interesting way. So the whole thing is actually occasioned by this crash. And so the crash becomes a real event, but it's also a figure. It's also a catalyst for, as you will see, certain kinds of relationships, dynamics that come into play. And so these characters are in many ways, kind of occupied with this crash, but as you'll see, also, it's not necessarily entirely the topic of consideration for each scene. So, and the setting of there's 3 different settings that will do, but you won't be able to tell so much. So I'm going to tell you what they are. The setting that happens at first is the backyard that the crash happened in. It actually happened in a neighborhood backyard. And so the first few scenes are at the crash site. And this is actually this will be the crash drone site here, where the hats that I wear and props are. And so this is the drone site, the crash. And then the second act takes us to a different place that is a ground control station. And then the third act takes us into a kind of a borderland, desolate field where a drone airfield has been created. So it's a kind of a desolate land somewhere near the border, identified near where the crash site is. And then at the end, we'll go to a command center. So those are the settings. And so I hope you enjoy it. Okay.